Okay, so Lee, the close season has given us plenty of opportunities to reflect on what happened over the last 12 months and to have a proper review into the processes at the club. Can you talk through that process and what it's been like over the last few weeks?
Yeah, obviously, look, we don't want to dwell on the obvious disappointment of last season, but what it gave us is a lot of food for thought, and we had to be honest with ourselves, both on and off the pitch in terms of how we continue to progress as a football club. We obviously didn't progress in terms of our league status, but that doesn't stop us, progressing, in a whole host of other ways. And so, I think we'd like to think that there's a level of humility that exists from within the football club where we're constantly searching for ways that we can move forwards and improve and progress. And so that disappointment gave us even more fuel and reason to do so. So, in terms of the changes at the club that have been announced, I personally think they're really, really positive changes for the club. Having Jeff on board and more of a full-time capacity, I think can only be a really, really positive thing for everybody here at the football club. The experience and knowledge that he has across a whole host of areas can only serve us well as a club. And obviously there's been a change for myself personally, and whilst I was really, really grateful for the opportunity, and I felt like I learned so much over that 18-month period as chief executive of the football club. I feel that with this new role as sporting director at the club, it gives me an opportunity now to really narrow my focus into areas that I feel I've got a lot more expertise and experience in, and it's certainly provided me with added motivation to really make a big difference here at the club. And we've got lots of things to achieve next season, not just on the pitch, and I think that the changes that we've made will help facilitate that.
In terms of your role, can you give a bit of an insight into what you'll be doing on a kind of a day-to-day basis and what your main responsibilities will be?
So, I think it's well known that I'll be spending quite a lot of my time back in the first team fold, supporting and assisting Kevin, along with Wes Brown, and the likes of obviously Andy Morris and Phil Nesbitt and others. And I've went from a situation where being on the grass has been such a huge part of my life for such a long time to not even setting foot on it for the last 18 months. And there's always ups and downs, pros and cons of that for me personally. But ultimately, I'm delighted to have the opportunity to get back on the grass, work with the players, assist Kevin, and hopefully help and have a really positive impact on what we produce out there on the pitch for our fans. But aside from that, I still have a much wider remit in terms of developing the club in a sporting context, in a footballing context, with our whole host of operations that exist and will expand on outside of the first team realm. So a lot of focus on further academy development and strategic growth. We've had an amazing journey in terms of the development of our academies, but we feel there's a lot more to do on that front. And then there's a whole host of things around our ability to bring the right talent into the building in the first place. So we've appointed Joe Monks, whose primary focus will be to identify and bring in the right talent, not just at first team level, but at other levels as well at the club. And but Joe will have a lot of opportunity to support me with like I say, the academy development, as well as looking at how we get the best out of the talent once we've got it in the building in the first place. So how do we expand and progress, the sports science side of things, the analysis side of things, the medical side of things, by boxing clever and being creative with adding value to those areas without, in a really cost efficient way. So there's lots and lots for us to get our teeth into. We often talk about how much the club has developed over a really short period of time, and I think it's great to be part of a club where that ambition to develop further, continues, and we're as hungry as ever to really kind of push the bar higher and higher in terms of the quality of what we do, and I'm really looking forward to being a really important part of that process.
You mentioned Joe Monk's arrival there. Obviously, he's had a major impact already on the
Yeah.
recruitment alongside yourself and Kevin and Wes.
Yeah.
How pleased are you with the business that's been done so far?
I think we've made some fantastic additions to the squad. In the aftermath of such a bit of disappointment, I think you can fall into the trap sometimes of reacting to that and thinking the whole thing needs to be tipped upside down but in reality we missed out on automatic promotion by 3 points. We got knocked out of the playoffs on a penalty kick, and I think we already have a squad that was very strong, but there was definitely some key elements or characteristics that we feel we needed to enhance going into next season. And in those first 5 signings, I think we've already got a long way to really, enhancing the squad in the right way, bringing some more experience into the building, some winning mentality, some obvious technical ability as well, some creativity, some pace, and we're still ongoing with that process in terms of helping Kevin build a squad that he can call his own, and that can then really bring not just success but exciting success on the pitch. There's lots of challenges that the club faced both on and off the pitch last season, but I think we need to really have hold a high priority to delivering winning football, but really exciting winning football, and I'm looking forward to helping Kevin deliver that on the pitch.
I'm sure recruitment isn't finished yet for the season, but to get 5 players in so early as well and get them bedded in before pre-season, how important was that as well?
Yeah, that was really important. We wanted to get a lot of our business done as early as possible, because again, different circumstances always prevail, but I think, looking back, we, not just the beginning of last season, but in previous seasons as well, I think, it's always more difficult when you're still not quite got all the pieces of jigsaw in place in terms of players, come the middle of pre-season or even come the start of the season in some cases, and I think that the more of those jigsaw pieces that you have nailed down and in place before you even kick a ball in pre-season can only be beneficial to everybody, so that you can deliver what you need to deliver in terms of physical preparation and tactical preparation ahead of the season, and nobody's having to play catch up at a later date and various other things. So we're hopefully going to get another couple of signings completed in the next couple of weeks, so that we are literally pretty much fully stocked and ready to go before we even kick the ball.
And when you look at that pre-season schedule, we've got, I think, 8 games lined up so far against teams from different levels of the pyramid, but they're all, a lot of them are teams who are very used to winning as well, so it's a good test of the team early.
I think it's a really well-balanced programme. We've got some Football League opposition, we've got some National League North opposition. We've got a couple of sides that are, you know, below us in terms of league status, but not too far below us. So it gives us an opportunity to. We've got different styles in there that we're gonna face over pre-season. Good mix of home and away games, and you know, come that first competitive game of the season, we'll be well prepared, and I'm really looking forward to working with the new players, and with obviously Kevin at the helm, and us delivering on a really exciting pre-season phase that'll whet the appetite of all the fans out there.
Just touch on your academy role as well. Can you just have a look towards the future as well in terms of how you see that developing and the real excitement that you've got about the development of that side of the club?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we didn't have a single academy at the football club, you know, going back five years, and you know, a lot of people have been, and not just myself, a lot of people have been involved in that process and in that journey of taking the academy programs to where they are today, and we're really proud of where they sit right here and now. But we're looking to execute on quite a major level of growth in the 16 to 19 academy, starting from September this year. We've got further growth in the club academy, which delivers the sessions at night times through the week. So that was a kind of a 12 to 16 program last season. It's now going to be a 9 to 16 program this season. We have another, you know, our final cohort coming into the Futures Academy at Mortimer. So we've now got every single year group within the college at Mortimer, you know, full of students who are part of our fantastic Futures Academy program. And we're also looking at how we expand that. We're looking at, you know, replicating what we already do at Mortimer somewhere else, and it's about identifying the right partner for us to do that with. And then on top of all that, and I think it's been well documented that we're also looking to expand our reach internationally. You know, we've got a couple of strands of that in terms of we can potentially look to develop an international academy that's based here in South Tyneside to attract you know, promising players from overseas who want to engage in not only a high level football development program, but, you know, a high level university education program as well. So that's really exciting, and we're at some, you know, albeit initial stages at the moment, but, you know, potentially a September 23 start date on that. And then we have the opportunity to, through contacts and relationships that we've developed over the last few months, particularly since Glenn Stidoff's come into the club, you know, in regions such as the Middle East and in Southeast Asia, where we can actually almost export our model, our product, if you like, to key partners that we're talking to in overseas regions as well. So there's lots of exciting scope for some real interesting opportunities to develop what we've already got.
And just finally, from a first team point of view, looking ahead to next season, there's obviously nothing you can promise in terms of the achievements that the team might achieve over the next 12 months or so. But can you talk about the intent in terms of the style of football that might be played, the amount of entertainment that the fans should expect, and the real intent of the team going into next season?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you know, Kevin's was a very attack-minded player, and he's a very attack-minded manager as well. And you know, as a lot of people will already appreciate and know, you know, that's always been my mantra, if you like, as a coach and you know, in the past as a manager, to try and deliver a product, if you like, that is really entertaining to watch. You know, where we look to control games of football as much as we possibly can with the ball, and we give players the license to express themselves, and to really enjoy what they're doing. You know, yes, you know, it's where we have that kind of professional status now, so it's classed as people's jobs. But I think for my aim would be to have a side out there that looks like they're having the best time in the world, the best time of their lives out there on the football pitch, because it is a great job, and I think, you know, when if you manage to crack that, and that's easier said than done, but if you manage to crack that kind of nut, then you know, players are then prepared to give everything that they've got. And I know, you know, obviously I speak to a lot of the fan base on a regular basis, and that's what they value more than anything else. A team that looks like they're just given everything that is within their, you know, within their power to go and do the best for the football club. And I think that has to be our aim, that first and foremost, whenever a side steps out there on the pitch or in any away venue this season, they look like they're ready to bleed for the shirt and to give their all.